Hello again, everybody. So today I've got another video for you on my Elite 125 Ruby, and today we are going to focus on the spark plug. And I've already removed, just so I'm not boring you, the side panel and back panel. And this isn't a usual video just showing you how to screw in a plug and putting a new plug in. I mean, that literally would take 2 minutes of the video, and then the video would be done. What I wanted to show you today is I plan to upgrade this plug. Now, when you look in the service manual, which of course I have right here, there are two different NGK plugs that you can use, both starting with DPR. One is a 7EA-9 and one is an 8EA-9. The extended high-speed riding plug, which is the one that I have here, I purchased a Iridium plug replacement. Now, this particular plug, actually, if you go on Amazon, they say it's not even recommended for the bike, but I assure you the DPR 8EIX-9, this is a replacement for that DPR 8EA-9 plug. So why try the Iridium plug? I guess that'd be the first question. I've had really no problems when it comes to the old plug, but what I wanted to see is if any of the rumors are true. Now, some folks will say you get more horsepower, you get more power, you get better fuel mileage, you get more longevity. I know that the longevity is probably at least the one criteria, being that it's iridium and it's a harder metal. It definitely should last you longer than your basic copper or platinum plugs. So that's why a lot of folks on their cars, they'll switch over to these type of plugs, because cars today some of them are actually quite hard to replace the plugs. It's not like they used to have the plugs all in an area for you to replace. A lot of reasons why you might want to put these plugs on, just because you don't want to take your car apart over and over again, because they're hard to get to. So this particular plug is a 2202. There is another plug that is for the DPR 7 model plug, and that's not the one that I'm using today though. So when you get this plug, you're going to notice right away that the top is a little bit different. So here's the plug here. So the one thing you're going to want to make sure you do is remove this, because you are going to have problems otherwise. So just put a set of channel locks very lightly on the end and turn it, and then that'll come off, and then you won't have any problems. When you take the two plugs, the Iridium plug next to the standard plug, you can see they're identical in size, length, and it shouldn't be a problem trying this one out. It looks like it's a direct replacement. Now, when you use this Iridium plug and you go to put it on your scooter, something that's real important is one of the first things a lot of folks will reach for is one of these tools, a gapping tool. And you really don't want to use that on an Iridium plug. You can see it's much more delicate end than a standard plug, and you probably are going to do damage using this. So when you go to do your gapping, use a feeler gauge. You can buy them for $5 from any Harbor Freight or any store. And then you stick it in there, and the gapping for this plug is 0.8 to 0.9 millimeters. Real good tip, don't use this, because as soon as you try to start this on an Iridium plug, you are just going to bend that, break it, and cause you more harm than good. So this, I've never had a problem on a regular plug. I've used it many times to gap. If you're gentle, it does the job. Just lose it for the Iridium plug. So once I go to install this, we're going to see if any of the stories are true. I'll know right away if there's any power feel difference on this bike. But what I'm really hoping for is that I get a little bit better fuel mileage, because these older Elites really didn't get great fuel mileage. Nothing like the new bikes where you're getting 100 miles to the gallon. I mean, I'm probably getting 40, maybe even less on this old bike. So if I can get a little bit more mileage out of a tank of gas, I'll be happy. But it looks like it's a direct replacement, so I'm going to go ahead and install it and start the bike up, and we'll see. Supposedly it'll help with idling and just overall make the bike run better. So I'll go ahead and install it, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I got the new Iridium plug-in, and this is your best friend when you have spark plugs that you need to install, various sizes, and just a great tool to buy. And then when you go to install it, very lightly tighten it. You don't want to over tighten a spark plug. So I got it installed, and we'll go ahead and see what happens when we start it up. Alright, so we got the ignition coil back on. Let's start the bike and see what happens. Bike starts up. Sounds about the same as what I'm used to hearing. Seems to be idling just fine. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put the covers back on and take it for a spin. Okay, I got it all back together again, and it's a great opportunity to take a little night ride and try out that new plug. I'm hoping the plug at least performs as good as the old one. It had 1,000 miles on it, so I'm sure it will. I guess the real factor is going to be, when I take off here in a moment, does it feel any different? And going forward, how well is the gas mileage a factor? Does it do anything for that or not? And really, is it worth paying the extra money to put one of these plugs in your bike? I really can't give you a full reason to buy it or not buy it at this point. It's still too early, but so far it seems to want to take off. It seems a little peppier. This is also a good opportunity to show that LED headlight. I don't think I ever did a follow-up video. Buy an LED. Look at how nice it lights up the road. Definitely worth it on this bike or the 150 Deluxe, and it's fairly easy to install. But the bike seems peppy. It feels good. It's driving well. It took off fine. Highly recommend it so far. I guess over time we'll find out if that gas mileage is a factor or if the plug lasts longer or shorter. I really won't be able to tell you that now. It's way too early. But so far, it seems like it's a positive experience. So if you like my videos, please subscribe. And please leave me all comments. I love them all. You all have a good night, and I'll see you soon.